lights on and make our home on a nation once again. So read the roll of honor for Ireland's bravest men. We must be united with memory of the ten. England, you're a monster. Don't think that you have won. We will never be defeated while Ireland has some sons of me.
And good evening. That's us, good to go. Number 01414161888. If you get a point to prove, come ahead if you think you're crackpot enough. If you're a crackpot enough, then fucking bring it right on with both barrels peacefully. 01414161888. What's going on out there? What has been happening? Right, let's get a news update. We'll turn to our man with the news. Right, here's Tom with the weather. In Glasgow it pushed down all day. Well done for the rain. The ducks must be swimming in it.
Hello?
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, John.
How are you, Tommy?
Very well.
How are you?
Live to the planet. We're just here to get a news update, mate. What's happening?
Well, I wanted to speak about this because I'm surprised at how it's flown under the radar.
What's that?
It was this story this morning about the use of tasers by police on children.
Jesus.
Yes, that was my initial reaction. Now, I have a couple of questions regarding this new story. The first one is what was the definition of the word child or children in this case? Was it anyone under the age of 18? Was it anyone over the age of criminal responsibility, which is 10, but under 7? Or is it in that in-between group where they're at or above the age of 10, the age of criminal responsibility, under 13? Because they shouldn't be using tasers on children between the ages of 10 and 13.
Oh, John, they shouldn't be using tasers full fucking stop.
Are you there?
Yeah, they shouldn't be using tasers at all, should they?
No, they shouldn't. I mean, some of the teenagers, I can understand that it may be in extreme circumstances, but I stress the word there, extreme.
Hold on, right? Hold on, the day, right, we've just been confronted, if anybody watched the news, the Stephen Lawrence, these dirty bastards shouldn't be trusted within an inch of their lives to fucking even use anything like a taser gun. They're dirty, filthy, low-life Masonic cunts. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on the Lawrence stuff, because I think the surprising thing is that they've come out and said it in public.
Indeed, aye.
Yeah, but the use of tasers on children, using a taser on a child is worse than shooting or stabbing a child because of the long-term psychological and physiological damage that these electric shock weapons can have on the human body.
Oh, hold on, mate. If you shoot or fucking stab a child, mate, you can't get fucking worse than that, mate. I mean, you're on degrees of fucking Satanism when you get that fucking level. Anyway, let's change the fucking...
I don't...
Change this fucking subject. Change the subject, mate. Fuck's sake.
I mean, I don't mean to demean victims of gun and knife crime,
I know, but change the subject.
But when I heard
make
that...
it a bit lighter, mate. Come on, make it a bit lighter. No, fucking, I don't want to hear it. You're fucking spoiling my night now. These sick...
I'm sorry,
I'm spitting bullets already.
I'm sorry, Tommy.
I'm fucking raging with the bastards over
okay,
the
I'll get it. I'll get it a little bit lighter, if that's all right with you.
Dear God, please,
in the media recently, we've had a lot of coverage about smoking, whether people should smoke in front of children, whether it should be banned. What about internet pornography, obesity in childhood, all these different things, and that they're looking to ban. But then I think these people calling for all these things to be banned or regulated, but no one's raised a word about what I've just said, which is far more serious. What kind of bipolar Orwellian country we live in?
Yeah, totally fucked up. Right, if that's as cheery as you can get, fucking hell, there's your first yellow card for the night. Here, I'll cheer the place up. Somebody asked a question. If a gay man jumped on your back, would you toss him off?
The green man?
No, a gay man. If he jumped on top of your back, would you toss him off?
Depends on what he was trying to do.
Well, he just jumped on your back. But...
Well, I wouldn't be very keen on strangers jumping on my back. Doesn't matter whether they're gay or not.
But would you toss him off?
Well, if anyone jumped on my back without me realising it, that would be my first reaction. Yeah. It's not that, someone's jumped on my back, they must be gay. No, it's someone's jumped on my back, am I being attacked by someone?
Right, next one. What we going on, right? Here, what do you call a Scotsman when he's near his home?
Pardon?
What do you call a Scotsman when he's near his home?
No idea.
Hamish. I'm Hamish. Anyway, right, crack on. Right, so any jokes for Wales?
Well, I've got a joke for you.
Last night on the show, there was a Welshman, which was you, and straight after we had an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman, and a crackpot. So there you go. Right, if anybody wants to join a Welshman on the show, it's 01414161888. On you go, Jonathan, what are you saying?
I'll try and take it down, make it a bit lighter. I've been... It was my birthday last week.
Happy birthday. Many happy returns. How many
Don't be, I've reached the big 3-0.
You turned 30 last week?
30, yeah.
Many happy returns, and, commiserations and many happy returns, you old bastard.
Yeah, and I as a treat to myself last week, I bought a load of comedy DVDs. One of Frankie Boyle, because I'm a big fan of Frankie. Very big fan. He doesn't think as highly of me, but I'm a big fan of his. And the other ones were Bill Hicks.
Brilliant. You get good taste
in
the comedy. Well, give us a good joke then. There's a mission the next time to come on and give us the best joke that you can find out of both of them then. How's that?
Well, how do you know your wife's having an affair?
I don't know.
She seems happy.
Well done. Next one. Next, come on. You're supposed to be rattling them off. Next, give us another one.
About I'm trying to think now.
Right,
Bill Hicks. He's in a diner and he's reading, and the waitress comes up to him and asks, "What are you reading for?" Not "What are you reading?" but "What are you reading for?" And he says, "Well, I'm probably doing it so I don't end up as a waffle waitress." And then some trucker says to him, "Looks like we've got a reader."
Indeed.
I mean, being intimidated by someone reading. Oh my word! It's the end of the world as we know it.
I remember he's talking about a guy who takes acid and jumps off a building, and he says, "Why the fuck would you go up in an elevator for your first flight and jump off a fucking thing? Why doesn't he try to take off from the ground like normal fucking birds that fucking fly. Why doesn't he fucking say, so if he did that, then he's a fucking idiot. Fuck him. Who needs him? The world's a fucking idiot lighter. Fuck him. I mean, why is it that there's always bad drug news stories and there's never any good news stories? Like the story he gives, I can't repeat it verbatim, you know, but when he starts going on, you know, like a young guy, fucking, I don't know, everybody knows who's heard the Bill Hicks one, and then he goes at the end, he goes, and here's Tom with the weather.
Yeah, but I first discovered Bill Hicks about 11 years ago and his Revelation show. I just found, I mean, you may not agree with everything he talks about, but at least he can make an argument in favour of his standpoint, whether it be dinosaurs and religion, Iraq, pot, whatever. At least he could make an argument in an entertaining manner. And it's only last year that a friend of mine gave me a download version of the Bill Hicks documentary, American.
Yeah.
And, pardon?
Yeah, on you go, sorry, on you go.
Yeah, and it's a very good documentary. In fact, I bought a physical copy of the documentary last week because wasn't able to see it on my old computer for some reason. So I've got a download version and a physical copy, and he was only on the earth for 32 years. And in that time, he made millions of people happy, but he also spoke the truth. He wasn't afraid to broach those subjects that other people felt uncomfortable about because it was a little too close to home for them. Things like war, things like nature and the abuse of nature, Orwellian fascism, all the concerns that the politicians, even in 1990, were refusing to address. He addressed them, and I do admire that, and I want to get some more Bill Hicks stuff. I want to get the Relentless show from the Toronto Comedy Festival. I want to get a Sane Man. I want to get as much of the post-booze and drugs Bill Hicks as I can, because he, even though he was only doing that, talking about that stuff for about 5 years, he did more in 5 years than most people do in their entire lives to try and make the world a better place. And he's still as relevant now as he was 20 years ago, because many of the same things keep coming up over and over again. War, oppression, civil liberties. And it's even worse now than it was in Bill Hicks's day. And I think if he was still alive today, if he was starting out, he would be blacklisted and banned by every major media organization. But they'd probably send round a couple of FBI agents to bump him off on some ridiculous charge like they did Bill Cooper.
You kidding me? They killed him. Don't you realise they killed him? They couldn't have someone like that out there.
No, and I saw the show sketch that Letterman had cut, and by Bill Hicks's own standards, what he was talking about was pretty tame compared to what he discussed in Relentless and Revelation. But they cut it from the show. They cut it from the show, and even Letterman admitted on the show when he was talking to Bill Hicks's mother, Mary, that he didn't know why they had that sketch cut from the show. Yet the totally Bill Hicks documentary, Letterman said, and this was years before they actually showed the original Hicks skit, that there were a lot of corporate sponsors that were concerned about Bill's comedy in that particular sketch. That sketch was tame. That really was tame by Bill Hicks' standards. That was watered down.